Hi, my name's Steve, my business partner Austin, and today we're going to look over SEO checklists and why you need to have one. And we considered just giving you ours, but then we thought, you know what, it's better for you to create your own checklist and go through it so you know exactly how to do the things as you're writing them down. You're figuring out exactly what you need, how you need it. But we are going to go through what we do, and I think that'll help you out a lot. And what kind of city do we got? Orchard Park, New York. Injury attorney. Very interesting. So most agencies do SEO backwards, and that in which case they build backlinks, they chase domain authority, they do all the technical stuff, and they wonder why nothing happened with the page. Well, the truth is that your on-page SEO is actually very important and often overlooked. And if you do all that, the back stuff, all that other type of stuff, you're getting citations, you're getting the backlinks, but your SEO on the website is not correct, chances are it's not going to move the needle at all. So you need to work on both kind of things. So we're going to run through what we do, and you might want to take notes if you don't already have a plan, but we'd like you to make your own checklist because this will help you, and if you're following along, you'll know what to do and how to do it. So on-page SEO is everything you can control on the page, obviously, and that would include the title tag, headings, the word on the page, images, links, URL, everything. So that's your on-page SEO. We see all the time, we follow in a lot of agencies after they failed, when businesses come to us, and we see the mistakes they're making. And quite often it's the on-page SEO, as well as not tying it in with Google Business Profile, which we've talked about plenty up to this point. So the reason agencies skip this or screw this up is because they skip it. They come in and they see the client's got a website and they think, oh, great. I don't have to do that anymore. That part's done. And if you audit the page or pages on the websites, oftentimes you'll find out that the title tags aren't there, or they're not very good. There's just a lot of problems, no content, all those types of things. And just to reiterate one last time, I don't want to beat this into the ground, but if you see a place that has, I don't even like the law firm very much, but personal injury attorney, you want to have a separate page under the services section for these things. Now, in this case, if it's personal injury attorney and then it's just flat out attorney, you probably don't need a separate one for attorney, just because it's basically the same word. But something like estate planning and personal injury, criminal justice, I would have one for each of those. If you also wanted to have one for law firm, you could just, you could throw that in there. But all these big ones, in fact, I would throw law firm in there. But if it's almost the same word, like this one, where they threw an attorney and personal injury attorney, I might tie that into one. I would do a separate one for all of these. Again, we got law firm in there, but I think that's a good enough one to just talk about the firm and how long you've been there, those types of things, what area you work for, and that will work very well. When you come upon existing pages, so let's say that Friedman and Ranzenhofer PC contacted you, and I'm so glad I picked another hard name like Austin usually does with cities for me, and you will assume that everything's done right. Well, in this case, it looks like a lot is. Right off the bat, we got law firm in Orchard Park, so we like that. We got a clear call to action, and let's see if that works. Call to action's not great. What would we rather see on a call to action? We definitely would rather have a click to call phone number, or we would rather have it maybe go to a Calendly page. Where we went to is too many steps for the customer to have to do. So that's a problem right there. But let's go ahead and figure out what exactly our checklist might look like. So we're going to break the checklist into 8 categories. This is how we do it. and it works pretty well for us. We start with the main content, and we're looking for title tags. It's the blue link you'll see in the Google search results will tie in with that, and it's the single most important on-page SEO element that you will come across on the website. That's one of the things we'll check for. We'll check for meta descriptions, and if you don't know what those are, if you're using WordPress, chances are one of your SEO plugins will automatically do that, such as all-in-one SEO, rank math, all of those you can get that done for you. And actually same with a lot of this other stuff. So if you do have that, check and see the title tags, meta, the headings. You can get all that stuff mostly done with the plugin. One H1 per page for headings, the H1 header, and then you can use H2s and H3s, but only one H1. Make sure to follow that. The content quality. At this point in time, Google's looking for at least 400 words to really notice it, to really rank it. So you make sure you get that done on it. Images, you want to have text with the image, and if you're using WordPress, again, in that alt text section, write down what it is. So if we're working with an image for these Orchard Park attorneys, you'll mention, this is Mr. Friedman working with a client from Orchard Park, and that's great. That's all you need. Just make it simple. It helps Google to recognize what it is, since they can't really identify the picture. This gives them a clear view. Okay, now we know what that is. Internal, external links. Every page on a client's site should link to at least 2 or 3 other relevant pages. Google, will understand it. So you're sending it just in site, or on site, I should say. And it's not a bad idea to also have some outbound links. We actually don't follow this a lot, but it does help a little bit. So if you wanted to have Friedman and Ranzenhofer, if you were working on that website, you'd probably link out to, maybe a lawyer site, the Bar Association, something like that would be a nice link to have there. But we tend not to try to send our people out anywhere else. So, so we stop there. I'm going to turn it over to Austin at this point, and he's got a few more things to do. I covered probably more than I wanted to, but I left it easy for Austin.
So yeah, your URL should be short, readable, and also probably contain the keyword. So this is not a good example because search services page.
Let's see.
Okay, yeah, this is good. Like, it's got security, income, benefits. That's what you want. So it tells Google what's contained on the pages. Sometimes you'll see one where it's like ID equals 682, and it's like that doesn't really tell Google anything. And you want to use the hyphens because Google treats hyphens as word separators and underscores as like a connected word. So if you were to put like social underscore security, it would treat it as one word. You also don't want filler words like you don't want it to be security, income, and benefits. This is good, just security, income, benefits. So technical stuff is page load time. So you want the page to load under 3 seconds on mobile, and you can test it with Google like Page Speed Insights. It's free, and it'll tell you exactly what to fix. And if it fails, then the page just isn't going to work well. And you want the HTTPS. That will just show that's a secure link, and it has the SSL certificate. So, but if it starts with HTTP, that's Google won't like that because it's a red flag. And Okay, it still went to the site. But sometimes it'll say like, hey, this site's dangerous and you shouldn't go here or something like that. So that's just about everything. You got anything else? Or?
Yeah, actually, since Austin ended up on this website, this is off topic but still important. If you were creating this website and we're using a desktop, and you see that the lines doesn't fit, so it goes all the way. You definitely want to try to resize this in some way. I would probably, if I couldn't figure out how to resize it, I might have meet our team and contact the same or something. I would do something that I wouldn't want this carrying over to the next page. So Austin's already working on it as we speak.
Here's a trick. You go to inspect. You go to this. It's a little like, it'll show a little laptop and a phone. You click that and you can change the size of the screen. And you want it, I think it's like a dynamic screen will change with the screen size. This is not very dynamic, as you can see, like things are spilling off or not showing up. At least it has a drop down with a smaller screen size, but you want to make sure that it would fit like every size monitor, every size phone, and it would look good. Like this one kind of looks like it's broken up a little bit. This isn't really a standard, let's see, this would be like an iPhone. And then you can look at this. This looks a little skinnier than the actual iPhone. Is there like a normal one? And you can see there's like a big wall of text there, and everything else looks fine. But just, you can play around with the screen sizes and see what it would look like on different screens. I guess these are all mobile, but you can see what it'll look like on a monitor too. If you just, well, you can do this or just change the dimensions.
Yeah, but Austin gave you some great advice there. But you can see what I mean. If you were creating this website, you wouldn't want it to finish like this. You want it to be clean, and look. You want it to look good. The most important part is that it works good, which it does work. But you also want it to look professional. And if you're doing the job, you need it to look professional. That's all I actually have for you today. If you need any help with this, you can comment and we will get you in the right direction. If you are working with a new client, you're new at this, and you do have some questions, you can reach out to us as well. We are here to help you. We want a lot of people to succeed at this. It's a very good business. It's actually kind of fun to do once you get started with it. But thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe, like, and comment as always. We would appreciate that. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.